Joe Rogan recently criticized Jake Paul for abruptly ending his fight with Mike Perry, overshadowing the previously anticipated bout with Mike Tyson. Paul, dismissing the Tyson fight as old news, had scheduled a showdown with Perry for July 20th, only to cancel it as well. This pattern suggests Paul may prioritize fame over actual fights, especially after his defeat by Tommy Fury. Rogan, frustrated by Paul's behavior, exposed his tendency to hype and then cancel fights, which could severely damage Paul's career. Previously, excitement had surrounded Paul's bout with Tyson, with fans buying tickets and promotions in full swing despite Tyson's health concerns. However, Paul unexpectedly canceled the Tyson fight and pivoted to Perry, leaving everyone astonished. This sequence of events has thrown the boxing world into chaos and left disappointed fans holding the bag. Paul's actions indicate a reluctance to face potential defeat again, particularly from someone like Tyson, and Rogan's critique underscores growing frustration within the boxing community. The sudden changes and cancellations not only undermine the credibility of Paul's commitments, but also risk alienating fans and business partners alike. Moving forward, Paul faces a critical juncture in his career where his reputation as a serious boxer may be overshadowed by accusations of playing games for attention. The fallout from these decisions could shape public perception and future opportunities in the boxing world for Paul.
Yeah, the news is true, folks. Jake Paul, will be fighting Mike Perry, Tampa, Florida, July 20th.
The aftermath of Jake Paul's abrupt decision to switch opponents was nothing short of chaotic. Fans who had eagerly invested their money and excitement into the anticipated Tyson fight felt deeply betrayed. The event was supposed to be a monumental spectacle, filled with glitz and glamour that boxing enthusiasts dream of. However, Jake's sudden cancellation brought the entire affair crashing down. Mike Tyson, despite not being in his prime physical condition, had committed himself to rigorous preparation for the bout. Understandably, Tyson was furious at the wasted effort, time, and money resulting from Jake's change of heart. Tyson was resolute. He wasn't going to let Jake's indecision nullify all his hard work. But why did Jake Paul bail on the Tyson fight? According to some experts, it boiled down to Jake's sheer terror of facing Tyson in the ring. Even though Tyson wasn't at his peak, Jake realized deep down that the odds were heavily stacked against him. Despite all his bravado about taking down the legend, Jake began to doubt himself when confronted with the reality of stepping into the ring with Tyson. His confidence faltered, and he ultimately concluded that the risk of losing to Tyson, even in a diminished state, was too great to bear. This sequence of events not only tarnished Jake's reputation, but also highlighted the stark contrast between hype and reality in professional boxing. Jake Paul's decision-making process has left lingering doubts about his commitment to the sport and his willingness to face formidable opponents head-on.
Best boxer on the planet is
Jake Paul.
why?
Who's doing it?
I mean, if Mike Tyson says, let's do this, are you down?
100%.
Jake Paul opted to switch from facing Mike Tyson to Mike Perry, a move seen as a calculated attempt to avoid what seemed like inevitable defeat. Perry, though tough, presented a more manageable challenge compared to Tyson's unpredictable and enduring prowess. This sudden change left fans feeling profoundly cheated, having been promised the spectacle of a Tyson versus Paul showdown. Promoters scrambled to salvage the event amidst the fallout, but the abrupt shift didn't sit well with anyone involved. Initially perceived as a move driven by fear, it was later revealed that Jake Paul was embroiled in a bribery scandal. Insider sources disclosed that Paul was allegedly involved in secret negotiations to bribe the referee for a favorable outcome. When questioned on camera, Paul appeared nonchalant and dismissed the allegations as false news. This revelation added another layer of controversy to Jake Paul's already polarizing career, highlighting concerns about ethics and sportsmanship in professional boxing.
Some shit like, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see it online, you probably don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
My brother thought the fights were rigged.
Yeah.
My older brother thought for sure they were rigged. And I had to break it
That's
down.
so
People
crazy.
People
You'll
thought
go-
my bucket pool was rigged online.
But like,
You know what
what
I'm
if people
saying?
like not understand? Like, you'll go to jail. Like, I don't.
Jake Paul, known for his brash confidence, publicly boasted about knocking out Mike Tyson, making it seem like a sure victory. Rumors circulated that Jake genuinely believed he could sway the fight in his favor by bribing the referee. According to sources, Jake's team allegedly approached the referee with an offer of a substantial sum. The plan was straightforward: ensure any close calls favored Jake and possibly turn a blind eye to infractions that could disadvantage him. In the high-stakes world of boxing, such attempts, while frowned upon, are not unprecedented. However, this particular scheme didn't go according to plan. The referee, whether due to integrity or fear of repercussions, did not accept the bribe. Jake's grand plan began to unravel as the fight date approached, and the prospect of facing Tyson without any insurance against potential defeat loomed large. Realizing his bribery attempt had failed, Jake faced a critical decision. He couldn't afford to jeopardize his reputation and career by risking a knockout at the hands of Tyson. Thus, in a move dripping with desperation, Jake opted to switch opponents. He abruptly canceled the Tyson fight and hastily announced a matchup with Mike Perry instead. This sudden change of opponents left fans feeling deceived and promoters scrambling to salvage the situation. It exposed Jake to further scrutiny and criticism within the boxing community, questioning his sportsmanship and ethical standards. Ultimately, Jake's maneuvering underscored the volatile mix of ambition, ego, and controversy that often surrounds his endeavors in the ring.
I think he's one of the most violent people on earth. He's undefeated in bare knuckle, which is arguably the craziest sport in the world. So I have a lot of respect for Mike Perry, and I know he's a killer. He's a knockout artist. He's tough.
Following Jake Paul's sudden opponent switch, boxing insiders and fans swiftly sensed something amiss. Speculations of bribery circulated, linking Jake's brash confidence, the failed bribe attempt, and the last-minute change to Mike Perry instead of Mike Tyson. Perry, a formidable fighter though not on Tyson's level, now became the focal point of scrutiny. Jake's decision appeared strategically motivated. He believed Perry posed a more beatable challenge, enhancing his chances of maintaining an undefeated record. As details of the bribery attempt emerged, insiders disclosed that the sum offered was substantial, enough to entice anyone. However, the referee opted to maintain integrity, rejecting the bribe. Jake Paul's camp vehemently denies any wrongdoing, asserting the switch to Perry was solely based on training and preparation strategies. Nonetheless, the timing and circumstances cast doubt on this explanation. Understanding Jake's choice of Mike Perry requires considering the perceived advantage he saw in facing a less formidable opponent compared to the legendary Mike Tyson.
Assume maybe you didn't want to waste the training camp, you wanted to stay busy, but is it more to it than that?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, but first and foremost, I'm on a path to world championships, and I wanted to stay active.
Mike Perry, while a respectable fighter, lacks the intimidating aura of Mike Tyson. Known more for his aggressive brawling style than technical finesse, Perry was perceived as an easier and more predictable opponent for Jake Paul. Perry's straightforward fighting style seemed susceptible to being dissected and countered, contrasting sharply with Tyson's unpredictability and raw power that posed a potential disaster for Jake. Thus, Perry appeared to offer a clear path to victory. Behind the scenes, Jake's management meticulously orchestrated this matchup. Negotiations with Perry's camp reportedly began well before the public was aware of Tyson's withdrawal. Acting swiftly was crucial. They needed an opponent who would accept the fight on short notice without questioning the sudden switch, yet still be portrayed as a legitimate threat that Jake could overcome. Mike "Platinum" Perry fit the bill perfectly. Known for his aggressive approach and willingness to accept fights on short notice, Perry was marketed as a gritty, no-holds-barred challenge. While the setup aimed to sustain excitement and hype, it fell short of the monumental expectations set by a Tyson showdown. The public reaction to the sudden change was polarized. Hardcore boxing fans and critics were unimpressed, viewing the switch as a sign of cowardice. Social media erupted with accusations, highlighting the stark disparity between Tyson's legendary status and Perry's journeyman reputation. Online forums buzzed with conspiracy theories questioning Jake's true motives. Did he genuinely fear Tyson, or was this a calculated maneuver to avoid a likely defeat? Critics in the sports media, such as ESPN analyst Max Kellerman, openly questioned the legitimacy of the opponent switch. Kellerman suggested that Jake's team prioritized optics over genuine competition. However, Jake's die-hard fans passionately defended him. They lauded his strategic thinking and tactical decision-making, arguing that facing Perry still presented a significant challenge. To them, Jake was simply doing what any professional athlete would do, strategizing to win. This division in public opinion intensified the media frenzy surrounding the event. Amidst the chaos, Mike Perry himself saw an unexpected opportunity. Never one to shy away from a fight, Perry viewed this matchup as a golden ticket. He eagerly expressed his excitement on social media, posting intense training videos and engaging in trash talk with Jake. For Perry, the prospect of taking down someone as notorious as Jake Paul was too enticing to ignore. In essence, while the switch from Tyson to Perry was carefully managed to salvage the event, it sparked a broader debate about sportsmanship, integrity, and the commercialization of boxing. It underscored the complexities of navigating fame and competition in the modern sports landscape, where perception often carries as much weight as performance. As the saga unfolded, it became clear that Jake Paul's decisions inside and outside the ring continued to captivate and polarize audiences, shaping the narrative of his controversial career in the spotlight.
You in the sport of boxing, you little bitch. This is not bare knuckle, not a bunch of just
freaking
MMA fighters. MMA fighters just running around punching each other bare knuckle like some hooligans. I'll show you a real sport.
Joe Rogan targeted Jake Paul head-on, exposing his controversial behavior and recent antics on a fiery podcast segment. Rogan pulled no punches, revealing the full extent of Jake's actions with such clarity that even his staunchest fans found it difficult to defend him.
Savage mode right now. He's in savage mode. If I was Jake Paul right now, I would be shitting my pants.
Oh, bro. Joe Rogan didn't mince words when he called out Jake Paul as a manipulative schemer who had overstepped his bounds. On a passionate podcast segment, Rogan laid bare Jake's recent controversial actions, including deceiving Mike Tyson with a sudden opponent switch. Rogan suggested that Tyson, feeling duped and not one to stay silent in the face of injustice, should pursue legal action. Following Rogan's advice, Tyson took decisive steps to seek justice, filing a lawsuit against Jake Paul for an astonishing $350 million. This legal move aimed to hold Jake accountable for the substantial financial losses and reputational damage inflicted. Considering Jake's estimated net worth of between $17 million and $30 million, the lawsuit represented a staggering blow that could potentially dismantle his entire financial empire. The repercussions didn't stop with legal filings. Jake, renowned for his bold confidence and flamboyant displays of wealth, found himself in an unexpected spotlight. In a recent episode of the Impulsive podcast hosted by his brother Logan Paul, Jake appeared visibly shaken and emotionally vulnerable. Calm was his usual cocky demeanor, replaced by a man on the verge of emotional breakdown. Tears welled in Jake's eyes as he acknowledged his mistakes. Rogan's condemnation of Jake's actions resonated widely, extending far beyond his immediate audience. His critique underscored how such behavior undermines the integrity of boxing, a sport built on principles of fairness and respect. Rogan's influential platform ensured that Jake's dubious tactics received widespread scrutiny and condemnation. For Jake Paul, the consequences of his actions were becoming painfully clear. The lawsuit and Rogan's condemnation marked a significant turning point. They signaled that Jake could no longer evade accountability for his controversial behavior. It was a stark reminder that despite his meteoric rise and immense wealth, everyone must answer for their actions. As Jake navigates the fallout from these developments, it's evident that his journey ahead will be challenging. The once invincible facade has cracked, revealing a vulnerable side that contrasts sharply with his public persona. Rogan's intervention served as a catalyst for broader discussions about ethics in sports and the consequences of prioritizing fame over integrity. Ultimately, Jake Paul's experience serves as a cautionary tale in the volatile world of celebrity and sports. It underscores the importance of transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct, reminding us that even the most influential figures are not immune to the repercussions of their actions.